because we do have some people that have registered that couldn't come, and welcome to people watching our playback as well. Now, I think we've got most people have got in. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a look and a focus on Easter. Can you believe that it's already Easter? What is it? Next weekend? It's crazy. I'd love you to pop in the chat box where you're from and what some of your favourite Easter memories are, or your favourite Easter traditions that you do in your family. Pop it in the chat box below, and I'd love to hear that, and maybe your favourite recipe you can share with us as well. We will be doing 4 or 5 recipes tonight, and we will also be looking at cookie dough to get some ideas on how to find those Easter recipes in cookie dough as well. So what I might do is, I got that camera going too, but what I might do is hand over, just checking the time. Yep, I'm going to hand over to our first presenter, and she actually comes to us from a caravan. Her name's Mel Hornby, and she's going to be showing us some beautiful an Easter recipe using choux cream, I believe. Let's just go over to see you, Mel.
Hello, how are you going, everyone? My name is Mel Hornby. I'm mixing and stitching, and this is my caravan. Sorry, I've just realised that I've got an extra sound going on there. Alrighty, so basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing some choux pastry. And I'll just give you a little show of what that looks like. And it's this one here, which we can find on Cookie Dough. It's called the Easter cream pastries. How's that sounding, Jess?
Yeah, it's okay for me. Is everyone else okay? Have you got a bit of feedback for you?
Yeah, and I've got it muted here, but anyway.
Sounds perfect, Mel.
Okay, cool. No worries. Alrighty, so what I wanted just to quickly show you before we sort of hop between people is what I've got going on here. And if you wanted to do a bit of a close-up here, Jess, with my other phone, I've actually popped in my butter, my water, and my sugar to start boiling, because it's going to take about 5 minutes to warm this up. Now, I have been in consultation with a French chef and a discussion about how best to do our choux pastry. Now, choux pastry is something that you can pre-prepare earlier, which is great for Easter Day. And I've got a few tips on how to make your choux pastry look amazing. So as you can see in here, we've got it bubbling and boiling away, which is what you need. And you need to make sure that your water is heated accurately. And with a TM6, you do have that accurate temperature control. So I cannot worry about this. It's not going to boil over for me. I am doing a half measurement of the recipe tonight too. And in order to do that, I have used my scaled cooking, which is available in Cookie Dough. Some of our other consultants will discuss that as well tonight. And in regards to getting your choux pastry in order to make it ready to go for Easter Day, because we all know that Easter is very, very busy. What we can do is we can make it ahead of time and we can freeze it. And then what you can do is fill your choux pastry whilst it's frozen as well. So I'm just going to pop this guy back on here. Now, we utilise the steaming basket just to help any splatter, but still allow that steam to come out. So we do have that ability with the TM6. With the TM7, we are utilising a slightly different lid, which is very exciting. I'm very excited to give that a whirl. So we won't need the extra accessories like this for the steam control. So this is going to be 1 minute. And then what we're going to do is we are going to add our flour. And this is the bit that I really wanted to show you, which is why I started it just before my segment started, because I want to show you that change between the heated liquid version and, sorry, I've got a fly, and the turning into the actual choux. Okay, so choux is a very thick pastry, not pastry cream, but very thick pastry that crispens up. And if anyone's eaten eclairs, that's what choux pastry is. All right, so we've got 30 seconds left on this, and it's cooking at 100 degrees on speed 1. We got 24. Now I've measured everything out using my scales on my Thermomix, and I've got it all separated out, so I'm all ready to go. So I'm not standing there, weighing things out. But here we are ready to go. So if you want to flick back.
Just gonna
Don't say that again. Alrighty, cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop in our flour, and then we're going to pop in. So we've got basically melted butter, water, and sugar, and we're going to go to speed 4. And if you can see in the bottom there, it's going to change into sort of like a Play-Doh, but not quite as thick as a Play-Doh. And 1 second. There we go. Now what we're going to do is we're going to leave the mixing bowl for 10 minutes, and then we're going to come back, and then we're going to put our eggs in, and then we're going to then pipe our pastry, and then we're going to bake that one.
Beautiful. Wow, thank you. Have you done these much before, Mel, or did you practice for us?
No, so I'm one of these people that don't do recipes very before I do a live. So I will lie and say that I did make a batch yesterday. My piping is a little bit to be desired, only because I needed to cook some, but I'm not proficient at choux pastry. I'll tell you that right now. I've never made it before. Yesterday was the first time I made it, and today is my second go. So, yep.
Incredible.
Makes it very, very easy, the Thermomix.
Beautiful. And that's what I love to hear. I was curious whether we had a pro. You certainly sound like a pro.
No, absolutely not.
Cookie
no, I was married to a French chef. He used to make all the choux pastry. I never made it before. So
wow.
Yeah.
It must have rubbed off, because you're sounding great, and we can't wait to see that. And it just shows you that we can be confident to try anything with cookie dough and with our Thermomix. Thanks so much, Mel.
No worries. See you soon.
See you soon. We're going to fly over from wherever Mel is in her caravan. She'll tell us when she comes back where she is. But we're flying over to the Yorke Peninsula to Kimberley Hamilton.
Hey guys, thanks for jumping on. So tonight I'm not using my Thermomix. I've pre-made some dough, but we're talking hot cross buns. Obviously, you think Easter, you think hot cross buns. So that's what I'm going to do today. Now, my go-to recipe for the hot cross buns, and there's so many different recipes out there. I do love the Thermo Mama hot cross bun recipe, which you'll find on the recipe community as well. So what I've done, I've kneaded the dough. I've added the sultanas because I like fruit in mine, and it's been resting in my Thermomat here for the last little while. So what I'm going to do, I just wanted to show you how I shape them and put them on the tray. And then I've also got some that I'm going to show you how I pipe the crosses on. So I'm not using the machine as such, but I am showing you some techniques that I use. So we have got a beautiful dough here. It smells amazing. It's nice and soft. So I'm just going to punch out a bit of air, and I'm going to divide it up into individual buns. Now, when you've got a Thermomat, now these are an awesome accessory. We can get them in our mix shop, but another great way to get them is by hosting a demo. You can get them as a host reward, and you can save yourself a little bit of money that way. Now, you'll also notice I am using a plastic cutter. So anytime you're using a Thermomat, never use a knife to cut anything on it, because you will compromise the mat, and you don't want to do that. I think it's fiberglass is inside the mat. They're heat proof and those sorts of things. So yeah, you just got to be a little bit careful. Don't use a knife, but you can use a plastic cutter, or your spatula from your Thermomix comes in handy. So I'm just dividing this up. I think I'll do 16. You can choose the size of bun that you want to make. So you might want to make 24 mini ones, or you might want to make 12 bigger ones. So it's totally up to you, which is the beauty of making things from scratch and making them yourself. Now, I did mention about the host rewards and getting beautiful host reward accessories like the Thermomat. some other great reasons to host a demo or go to a demo is to learn more about your Thermomix, or maybe you want to learn how to do bread or doughs, or how to you know, use something in your Thermomix that you're not confident with. Book a demo, talk to your consultant, and learn more about it. That's what we're here for. That's part of the deal, is you get your consultant. So shaping my buns, what I do, I've got chopped up into little balls. I like to just squish them out, and then I fold the corners in, and then I sort of pinch the little bottoms together, and you get a bit of roundness on the top. Now, just to make them a little bit smoother, I cup my hands like so, make a little cage, and I just roll the dough around on the mat. And what that does, it sort of spins the dough, and it makes a bit of a tight, sort of tightens the skin of the bun. So I'll just do the other one here. So it just sort of pulls it all in, makes it nice and smooth, and you get these nice little round balls. Obviously the sultanas are sitting on there. I've just got my rose gold tray with one of the silicone liners. So made of similar stuff to the silicone mats that we wrap the bread up in. These are oven proof. They're instead of using glad bake in the oven. So it's, you know, that you'll use that once and then you throw that out. So that's sort of to replace that. So it's quite economical because you reuse it. It's also eco-friendly because you're not adding to any landfill or anything like that. So they're super cool as well. And they can go into the oven. And I believe it's up to about 240 degrees. I'd have to double check that, I think, but you know, top temperature, which you don't cook too much in the oven at that. So roll those up into nice little balls like that. And I just place them on the tray, just a little bit of gap, but they will grow together. So I'll just pop them there. Magic of television. Just going to move that out the way. Here's some I've prepared earlier. So you can see that I've got my thermomat layered over the top. So this is just going to stop it from drying out while they rise, because we want to let them sit until they double in size. And I can just peel that off. And you can see I've got these beautiful risen buns. So they started off like this, and they've turned out like that. So they're looking nice and soft and fluffy. What we want to do now is put on the crosses. If you want to put crosses on. If you want to make not cross buns, leave the crosses off, pop them in the oven. That's totally fine. So the cross mixture is just some flour and water, a ratio of 2 tablespoons of water, 4 tablespoons of flour. And I've just popped it into one of the little disposable mix shop piping bags. You can use the green piping bag from the mix shop as well, as I believe it's just come back into stock. I'm just going to trim off the end, and I'm just going to do my crosses. So I'll go one way this way. So when you are making the paste, if it's a little bit runny, add a bit more water. If it's a little bit thick, if it's a little bit runny, add a bit more flour. And if it's a little bit thick, add a little bit more water. And then we just pipe them across here like that. Just squeezing it out. Now, some other ways you could use is, you know, the big syringes you can get from the chemist. They're quite handy as well if you want, you know, to you're not overly confident in using a piping bag. You can try a syringe. You could use a little glad bag and just cut the corner off as well. And so once I've popped these on, I'm going to pop them in the oven. And when they come out the oven, I'm going to pop back a little bit later, and we're going to put a beautiful sugar glaze over the top. Gives it that nice, sticky, shiny, glossy finish that we love of our hot cross buns. So here is my piped hot cross buns. I'm going to pop them in the oven right now and let them cook for probably 20 to 25 minutes. Then I'll get them out and I will jump back on later and yeah, show you the finished product. So the glaze is just two tablespoons of sugar, 2 tablespoons of water. I'm going to heat that in the Thermomix for about 3 minutes at 100 degrees to make that sugar syrup. And I'm going to brush that on when these come out hot. So it goes on hot and it creates that beautiful sheen. So there you go, hot cross buns.
Thanks, Kimberley. Now, Sarah says they look like nice buns there, Kimberley. Nice buns. Thank you so much for showing us the technique of getting those beautifully shaped buns, and we'll see what they turn out like, and with the glaze as well. And that recipe has all of those components in there. Thank you, Kimberley. Awesome. We are going to keep on with the Easter theme. Now, we will be having some savoury coming up a little bit later tonight, so stick around for that. But what we're going to do next is see a little bit more sweetness, and we will fly over to the Adelaide Hills to see Sue James. She's going to be making some Easter meringue nests. Let's have a look. Let's have a look.
So one of the things that I was going to explain is that the recipe makes 14 of the meringue nests, but because we go until 8:30 and then they take 3 hours to cook, I decided just to do half a batch today or tonight. And so if you're not sure about changing the number of quantity for your recipes, make sure you speak to your consultant and they would be really happy to help you out with that. So because I've changed to a created recipe, it's coming up a little bit differently, but it's giving me all the details here. So I've also pre-weighed my 100 grams of sugar, and then it's just asking me to pop the lid back on and mill it for 15 seconds at speed 10. And so I think I'm hoping that Snowy cuts out the sound of the Thermomix because it's a pretty powerful motor. So that's all good. And it's asking me to put the egg white and the cream of tartar in. So I've already cracked my egg whites one at a time into a little bowl just to make sure I don't end up with any nasty eggs going in that we can't tell until we've already cracked it and made a mess of our eggs. A little tiny pinch of tartar. It did ask me to put the whisk in, but I tend to do that once I've got all the ingredients in. I'll just get my spatula. Scrape down the bottom a little bit there. Whisk on and press my little blades, and we're going for 12 minutes, 37 degrees at speed 3.5. So I will get that going and I will talk to you later, I guess.
Lovely. We will see you shortly, and we will quickly jump back to see what's happened in the caravan with mixing and stitching Mel Hornby.
Hello. Alrighty, yes. So where I'm actually now is just out of Melbourne. So we've been touring Australia for about 14 months, and I do all my cooking in the caravan. So I'm a little bit unique. I pretty much only have a Thermomix and a frying pan, and as you'll see, you can create anything in a caravan, including Choux Pastry. So what we're now going to do is we're going to pop our eggs in. Now, remembering what we're looking like over here, you might want to spot me, please, Jess. My overhead.
Yep, let me see. There we go. Okay.
Nice job. Alrighty, so we can see that kind of looks like a bit of a crumbling mix here. We're going to pop our eggs in. We're going to remember to put our lid on because we don't want to make a mess. And this is going to turn into our pastry that we're going to pipe, okay? And basically, for 1 minute, this is going to come out to a beautiful pipe consistency. And we are then going to make nests of around about a 10 centimetre nest. Now, I have done some earlier, and I will show you those in a moment. 1 minute seems like a very long time.
We can have a look at Cookie Dough if you like.
Yep.
Let's go have a look. Now, after this session, we're going to email you guys a brochure, a little flyer that one of our awesome consultants has put together for you. So we'll email that on Friday for everybody, as well as the recording for those people that couldn't make it. But let's have a look over here. We have the Easter cream pastries that Mel is making. I'm not sure how you make the pattern, Mel. You'd have to have like a...
Okay, so I do... Yeah, so I do have a tip in my piping bag. And as you can see, it is a fairly sticky kind of consistency. It's very thick. It is meant to be like this. You don't want it like runny, like icing, you know, like soft icing or anything like that, like buttercream. It is kind of like a cold custard consistency. And the reason behind that is because of that texture. To get it to crispen up. Now, what the idea to get it to preserve nicely in the freezer is to make sure that you dry it out like you would a meringue nest, okay? I'll just turn this guy around for you. Oops. There you go. And I am not the best piper in the world at all. I will be very honest about that. But what you want to do is do about a 10 centimetre ring. Me and piping, we're not really friends at all. And then what we want to do is we just want to fill the bottom in. And then we want to do another ring on top. Now, to get a really nice glossy finish on your nests, the tip that I had was to make sure that you get an egg yolk and brush your top with an egg yolk. And I want to show you the difference. Now, here's my really have a go piping last night, and I did forget to push down the middles like I did here tonight. So I did push the middles down with a spoon, but you can see here that I did half with an egg yolk, these ones, and these ones didn't have the egg yolk. You can clearly see the difference. So putting the egg yolk on does give it a beautiful shine. Now, to make these last in the freezer is you do want to dry them out like a meringue. So cook them, turn the oven off, let it cool down, then pop them in the freezer. These ones I did just leave in the oven overnight because I was going to be using them today. But if I was to use them in 3 or 4 days or a week's time, you do want to freeze them. That's the best way to preserve them. Take them out and fill them frozen, and they will be absolutely perfect. This is going to go in the oven, and we will come back. Do you want to come back and do the cream after, Jess?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll come back and see the next step for sure.
Yep, perfect.
Beautiful. Thank you. Some great tips there, and seeing you getting that piping in. We are going to go over and have a look at some Good Friday fish savoury. So let's scoot from Melbourne over to the Barossa with Deb Mackay.
Hello everyone. Okay, I'm doing a savoury dish. I decided to do a fish dish because it is, after all, coming up to Good Friday. The beautiful thing with this dish, you could basically get fresh fish, or as I did, I got some amazing wild-caught affordable whiting from Aldi in the frozen section, so don't be worried if you can't get some fresh fish. I'm also doing a creator cook, and if you speak to your consultant, you'll probably be able to get the support to help you learn to adapt recipes. So that's something that I really love doing, especially being in an allergy-friendly home. We always are adapting recipes all the time. So I love that we have the feature on the cookie dough to do the adaptions and make it our own, swapping in and out. The other thing with the dish that I will mention is that I love this one because it showcases the varoma. And another tip, which I'm not doing tonight, is when you're using the varoma and you're only using one tray, think about what you could be making for tomorrow that you could cook ahead. So you're being more energy efficient and time management with that. So it really is a quick cook. Oh, I've just gone past it. Okay, so what I've just done is I've got some currants here, and this dish looks a bit fancy because I did adapt it from Gourmet Traveller, but it could be like an easy separate where you could do the fish for another dish, you could use the dressing for another dish, etc. You don't have to combine the two together. So I've got some verjuice, or you could use red wine vinegar or white wine vinegar. Where you've got your currants, you can leave that out, it's optional, and you leave that to the side. And what I'm going to do for this one, and remembering you can interchange your herbs, whatever you've got. I'm using some coriander leaves that have been washed. I'm using a little bit of lemon juice in that. And I'm using some olive oil, and I've actually just measured out the olive oil in the MC, which I absolutely love doing. And all we're going to be doing is putting that on just to chop it a little bit finer and mix it. Right. So what I'm actually making for those, and I'll try and turn this down so you can see, I'm not too sure if it's going to work, but I've cut out these circles using baking paper, they're papiers, and I use this all the time. So you could use salmon pieces, whatever you've got, and what you're going to be doing is laying your fish in the centre of the circle. And we're going to just put a little bit of the seasoning on that. And we'll do the other fish. Now this called for 4 fillets, but I'm only just tonight just demonstrating the 2. But it depends on the size of the fish that you choose to get. Salmon obviously is a lot shorter, so you can fit more onto the top. I personally wouldn't put it in the middle section. I would definitely leave it on the top section there. And so I'm just going out of that. And to fold up the papiers, you just go like this and you pinch and you tuck and fold it all around. I believe I can send you a link if you're too unsure of how to fold that. Unfortunately, my screen today can't actually show that. And what we're going to do then is quickly make a dressing, and we're going to put in some tahini into the bowl. Now, I've already weighed this out. And just to, if anyone hasn't done the guided, the created recipe before, you'll see the screen looks slightly different. And this, I believe, is going to be like the new TM7, where you get the whole list of ingredients on the one screen, so you can weigh them all out as you go along. But obviously today, I've already, to make it quicker, I've already kind of weighed it all out. So we've got some coconut yogurt going in there. You can put normal dairy yogurt. Obviously, I've had to adapt this to making it dairy-free. Put a little bit of cayenne pepper in this. You can change the spice depending on your flavouring. You can make it Indian, Mexican flavour, whatever you wish to do. And we're going to put in some lemon zest. And literally, that is that. And we mix that and we just chill that until we're ready to serve, which I'll show you later. I've already rinsed my quinoa, ready to go in my second Thermomix bowl. which is really good. You get the TM6 bundle at the moment, you'll get a second bowl. And then we're going to just place our fish like here on there to cook for 19 minutes. That is it. So like I said, there's nothing in here at the moment in the bottom, but it's a great time to think ahead for another dish, especially if you're cooking for a feast. All right, that's me done, Jess.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And thanks for sharing a recipe. Now, for those that can't click on the link in the chat box of Deb's recipe, we will be sending that via email as well. So you will have that by Friday. So thank you so much, Deb. It sounds delicious with those different flavours.
I was just going to say, Jess, it's really good because, like, you can basically dress it up and it will look like a 5-star restaurant, and it's been just so quick and easy to do, and it's really showcasing produce, especially if you can get your local fish. It's really good.
Yeah, beautiful. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. Great idea for our Good Friday next, is it next week? I think it must be. And if you would like to create these dishes and if you'd like to share them, we do have a Facebook page that Sarah will pop in the chat for us, our community page. You could share your pictures of if you try some of these dishes or some other dishes. We would love to see. And we're going to jump over and see if Sue's ready for us. How's that meringue looking, Sue? We've got you spotlighted now. Hello. There we go.
Let's unmute. So look at that. This is just the first whisk. So I'm about to put in the vinegar and the salt and whip it for another 2 minutes, but already it's gone from just a little bit of sugar in the bowl to you know, like
Yeah.
a beautiful a beautiful thing. And I remember some people that I've spoken with about Thermomix, and they've said, oh, but you know, you can't make meringues in the Thermomix. Well, actually, yes, you can.
Exactly. So how many eggs? Because you said you made it smaller. There wouldn't be many
Yes,
eggs.
so that was only 2 egg whites and
Wow.
100 grams of sugar.
Wow. And that's looking amazing for just 2 egg whites.
Yeah.
Incredible. Thanks for showing us that, Sue.
No problems. And so I will set this going again for 2 more minutes. And I'm not sure. I think
We will
I'm
come back
having-
and we'll come back and see you then, and we'll see
Okay, perfect.
piping those out. It might look a little bit like Mel's choux pastry as well. Mel, did
That's
you
it.
have another thing to show us with your choux pastry next? We'll come over and see how
Yeah, I
it's
do
coming along.
indeed. I'm sure Deb's piping is a hell of a lot better than my piping. I'll tell you that right now. Me and piping, we're not friends. So what I've just done now is I've whipped up my cream. Now this is 44 seconds of cream. It went from just whipping cream to super thick cream. Now, if you can imagine doing a 600 ml bottle of cream to make your scones, you know, you're less than a minute to whip up cream, much quicker than a hand beater. I know I love my grandmother's, you know, hand beater, but it's a hell of a lot quicker doing it this way. What I've now put in is my sour cream, which is a really interesting mix. So this one does have raw sugar. It does have raw sugar, but it's just sour cream and sugar mixed together. And then we're just going to fold the two together, okay? We want to fold it so that we don't lose all the air out of our beautifully whipped cream. And then we're going to dress our nest. Now, because I made mine a little bit small last night, my nests are a little bit smaller than my apricots. So forgive me on that one. Like I said, me and piping, we're not great. But no doubt they'll taste amazing. So that's all mixed really nicely. Now, remembering I am doing a half serve. I have used my created recipes to do a half serve. And let's just dress this up. So these are little baby ones tonight. but you can make them as big or as small as you like. You could use your choux pastry for eclairs, you know, do a chocolate dipped eclair. The Thermomix is fantastic for tempering chocolate. We do have sugar stages in the modes. We have, and with the new TM7, I was reading the manual last night, that there's some great things with the new sugar stages. So, like I said, unfortunately, mine's a little bit smaller. So just make yours just that little bit bigger, somewhere in the vicinity of these guys. Okay, I had a bit of a play with my piping. But basically, this is our, what are we calling them? Easter cream pastries. So this will be a really light, refreshing Easter treat that you can, you know, serve up to your family. So that's that one there.
Beautiful. Thank you. It reminds me, we did some apricot sort of Danish pinwheels in the past, and we had the same issue. The apricots were really big.
Yeah, they're
compared to the
huge.
Danishes that we
It's like
made.
swamping them.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mel. That looks really easy. That seemed pretty easy. Was it easy?
Very easy. Now, like I said, I'm no piping queen at all. I've never made choux pastry before. I've learned one little thing or so, just make it a little bit bigger. But aside from that, super, super easy. And I'm using in a caravan oven. So I don't have fan forced. You could easily do it in an air fryer. My husband and my daughter are like champing at the bit, waiting for this. Here you go. So the fact that I've been able to make them without a fan forced oven shows that they can actually be made in anything. So you can do it in an air fryer, you can do it in a traditional convection oven, you can do it in anything. So if I can make them in here, you can definitely make them at home.
Awesome. Thanks, Mel. We'll come back later. We might see something chocolatey coming out. Your family's getting Easter a week early, aren't they?
Yes, absolutely, and they're loving it.
Awesome. Now, let's have a little sneak peek here in Cookie Doo, and we've popped in a couple of tonight's menu into Cookie Doo, and we will, as I said, we will send you those recipes. We're not doing our Easter cupcakes tonight, and we did have one of our presenters fall unwell, so we won't be doing those, but keep that in mind. If you've got some leftover Easter eggs, you could use them in lots of the different chocolatey recipes that we have in Cookie Doo. And that reminds me, I did have this up before, if you're typing in just the word Easter into your Cookie Doo, you're going to find a lot of lovely recipes and ideas here, including the one Mel's just done here. There's lots of ones in here that are just amazing to give that a go. You can see the star ratings as well. You can give them a go, you know, looking at the 4 and 5 star ratings, and you to be sure to be on a winner there. If you want to go into your filters, you could look up just the main dishes or just the sweet dishes as well, if you like. So like some of the ladies have already mentioned, talk to your consultant if you need help with Cookie Doo. They'd love to do a demo with you and give you those tips on Cookie Doo. You could focus on Cookie Doo in your demo, learn more, and you can pick up one of these great host rewards just by inviting 2 or 3 friends along so they can have the opportunity to experience Thermomix as well. So I'll just stop sharing there. And what we will do is we're going to see if we have Sue ready. Sue's probably using her piping bag. We should have called this a piping bag class. Kimberly's used a piping bag as well.
Yeah. So I'm using the larger piping bag, and many years ago, before I got married, and we've been married 45 years, I did actually do cake decorating, but I have not done any for a long time. So my piping is not the best, but that's all good, and I guess it just goes to show you that it doesn't have to be professional, so long as we have a bit of fun. And I'm going to just get some of this beautiful meringue. So here's the meringue that I couldn't believe when I when I saw the full recipe, I thought, goodness me, you know, and I've just done, as I said, I've just done a half recipe tonight. And so to save a little bit of time, I'm just going to do some of it. So I've actually stacked my piping bag into a little cup here. I'll just get a little bit more in. Turn it back up. Now, just move things around. So one of the beautiful things about the rose gold trays is that they actually have on the mats, they actually have a series of circles, and it just so happens that the large circles here are exactly the size that I need for my meringue. So I'm going to start at the, let me just see if I can tip that down a little bit. See how we go here.
And have you got a tip? Have you got a tip in your piping bag? Yeah.
I would have preferred if I had a plain nozzle, but I couldn't find my plain nozzle, so I thought that's okay. So there's just one that I've done. So lap around the bottom for the base, and then up another lap around, and then I'll pipe the rest, and they will go into the oven. But then here are my finished little meringue nests with a drizzle of the dark chocolate over the top. And
cute.
What I had to do today when I was doing the dark chocolate, I'm just going to go back to here, because I wasn't exactly sure how to melt my chocolate. So I came across a recipe which is called Halloween dip apples. So clearly no apples have been used in this recipe, but it actually gave me the temperature for melting my dark chocolate. And then I was able to pop it into the piping bag and swirl it around my little meringue nests.
Beautiful. That's so, don't they look cute? And definitely melting your chocolate in your Thermomix is so good. I think some people might do it in all different ways, but Thermomix is wonderful for melting chocolate, especially around Easter time. Thank you so much for experimenting there and learning something new, Sue. That's what we do a lot of, don't we? We always try something. Yeah, wonderful. Thank you so much. You've got.
We'll be having Jess. We'll be having a stall at the Mount Barker Market with Suzanne and myself on Saturday. So I'll be taking some of the meringue nests for people to try.
Oh, wonderful. I was a bit concerned what you're going to do with all those meringue nests.
Yeah.
That's fabulous. Thank you, Sue. And if anyone's in the Adelaide Hills, go along to the Farmers Market in Mount Barker. It's open 8:30 till 12:30, but these guys will be there from about 10:30, won't you, Sue?
Yep, that's it.
Awesome. Thank you.
See you later.
See you later. Thanks, Sue. Good job. And we have over on the York Peninsula, we have some Easter buns that are ready because it's nearly Easter time.
What do you reckon? How do they look?
Incredible. Let me make my picture bigger so I can see just you. Wow,
They
perfect.
smell amazing. They smell amazing. So they only had 20 minutes. So it was 180 degrees. They cooked for 20 minutes and they've come out, and I think they're cooked enough. So I heated up 2 tablespoons of sugar, 2 tablespoons of water, 100 degrees for 3 minutes. And so it's just made a bit of a clear syrup, you might be able to see. And I'm just going to brush the hot buns with the sugar mix. And this will just give it a beautiful glaze and a little bit extra sweetness in there. If you could leave this step out if you wanted to, but makes them look all nice and shiny and pretty, and
Yeah.
just
I
gives it that
I definitely like them better shiny like that. Have you ever tried using orange juice instead of water, Kimberley, for a citrusy?
No, I haven't. I'm not much of a I'm a definitely no peel in my buns. So
yes. Yes.
I'd probably stay away from the citrus personally, but it would be a good idea. There is a recipe that I do want to try and cookie do. It's a hot cross bun, and it's got dried apple in it, and so that is one that I am keen to have a crack at this Easter. So I will be giving this a go. For tonight, I thought I would do Old Faithful.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna see if I can find it.
That one.
Is it
It's
that
got
one?
apple juice. It's got apple juice in it.
Yeah. Okay. Great. So, isn't the new look cookie dough just lovely? It's going to look wonderful on the TM7. So it has changed in line with that. But of course, we will be able to use all the recipes on all of our models as well, unless indicated otherwise. But that recipe comes from all these different books. So it's in a few of them. Wow.
Yeah, the dried apple, that's what sort of intrigued me. I thought that would be nice.
Cool. And it's the apple juice gets cooked into the syrup. Perfect. No citrus for you, Kimberley.
No. But yes, no. So that is one way to make your own hot cross buns. It's going to save you a lot of money. I know just by buying bakery hot cross buns, they were selling them for like $9 for a 6-pack.
Wow.
So I could go and make a little bit of money if I wanted to tomorrow.
Yep.
I reckon I'll bag some up and see if I can make some extra coin. What do you reckon?
I think that's a new business idea for you, Kimberley, for sure. You can set up some franchises. Thank you so much for jumping in at the last minute. We had 2 illnesses today, so Kimberley jumped in at about 3 p.m. today and said I can do hot cross buns for us instead. So thank you, Kimberley.
My pleasure.
Legend. All righty, let's have a look where we're up to. We're doing pretty well. Deb, is yours ready to show the next step? Or not quite yet?
Not quite, but oh, sorry. One thing I forgot to mention is with the quinoa, what you could potentially do is put some stock or seasoning in the water. You don't necessarily have plain water. I've actually, with the juice that I put half the lemon that's already used sitting inside, so it's kind of infusing in the steamer basket, the quinoa, and some herbs on top. So you can put some cumin or a bit of coriander or a little bit of spice on there just to make it more fragrant, but I just like using my lemon and kind of getting it to infuse in the steamer basket.
Oh, great. Some extra flavors. I love that. Sometimes we can buy, I've seen them in the shops where there's a packet of quinoa or rice and it's got different flavors in there. But of course, we can just buy in bulk, save money, put our own flavors in. We're done. Thank you for that tip, Deb. And we've got some chocolate goodness, I think, coming from the caravan with Mel Hornby.
We do indeed. Now, who makes their own nut butters? Yeah. So we can make our own peanut butter, cashew butter, sunflower butters. Now, this is a recipe that we can utilize one of those butters in. It's really good for those who have allergies or anything along those lines where you can't have dairy, you can't have eggs, for example, but we're going to make an ice cream without any of those. So if you can have seeds, we're going to make a seed butter to go in with this. Alternatively, you can do it without it as well. But I thought I might give you a quick demonstration of making a seed butter. And then we're going to make our ice cream directly after that. So we've got our sunflower seeds. And I'm just going to cook on a manual here, okay? And I'm just going to blitz it until it sounds like a...
Now, I remember doing sunflower seed butter, and it took a little while to transform. So we'll just see how we go today.
Sorry, I missed that, Jess.
No, that's all good. I remember doing sunflower seed butter before, and it was quite dry. It took a little while to combine.
You do need to add a little bit of moisture to it. So just a tiny bit will help with that. Now, if that doesn't crack off today, then we can move on and make on our ice cream.
And it's fabulous. Being able to pop that nut butter in, it's going to help flavour your chocolate, whether it's ice cream, whether it's a smoothie, whether it's cake. The nut butter is a great idea to add that extra layer of flavour into your meals, even if you're making raw chocolate. So I'm hoping to teach my branch how to make raw chocolate in the next week before Easter, and we'll be putting in some nut butter through that as well to take it from a dark chocolate into a milk chocolate, dairy free. So how are we going? Is it
so it's looking really good. I could take it a little bit more, but I would prefer it just a little bit stiffer for what I'm about to do. So now I'm going to hop into my recipe, which has just hopped out of there. So that was manually cooking. So even though we're using Cookie Do today, there's always a reason that you can cook manually, okay? You can follow a recipe from another recipe developer. You can create your own recipes and import them into Cookie Do. And you can even move along from recipes from the recipe community as well, which is really good, which means you can always try different things and they don't have to be Cookie Do. As much as I love Cookie Do and never be without Cookie Do, you've always got that ability to cook manually. So what I'm going to put in here is just some frozen banana. And these are being frozen for a few days. It does say that you really need to make sure that you freeze them for a couple of hours. Some cocoa. And just a little bit of that nut butter. Okay. So 1 to 2 tablespoons of that. It does ask for some maple syrup. I'm going to give it to my very small children, so I prefer not to. And we're just going to use the blend function on here.
And what's the name of this recipe, Mel, that you're making? Mel might not be able to hear me actually because the Thermomix is churning. I think this one is called Nice Ice Cream. Nice something. We will have a look at that. But let's look. We can actually see in the top of Mel's bowl there. It's coming together beautifully. Oh, it's going to be delicious.
There we go. Now, you'll notice that I did use my Thermomix spatula, which is an amazing spatula for doing things like this, just to help it move it around a little bit more. But let me get another bowl because I've utilised the serving bowl I was going to show you in. And let's give two ice cream scoops to the children in the bed. How's that? So that was less than a minute to make chocolate ice cream.
Oh my gosh, incredible. There you go.
My teenage daughter is like, give it to me. So utilising, the things that, your bananas might be looking a bit sad and she just realised it's banana.
Uh-oh.
I was a bit surprised. She wasn't obviously listening because she doesn't really like banana. My other 2 children absolutely adore banana. So, yeah, so waste not, want not. Put those bananas that are looking a bit average, chuck them in the freezer, chop them up when you need them. Make sure that you take the skins off them. I've done that before. It's a bit of a nightmare. And then, you can make ice cream in like a minute. And I made plain ice cream the other day. And today I made chocolate ice cream. with no nasties. So again, you can do it without the seed butter. You can do it without the cocoa powder. You can do it without the sugars or any of the sweeteners. You can always adapt in a recipe, and that's what I like about Cookie Dough. Living in a caravan permanently, traveling around Australia, you know, we have to make do a lot of the time. Allergy swaps for people. There's so many reasons why we can adapt recipes. If you're unsure of how to do an adaptation, please reach out to your consultant. I'm more than happy to help my customers who reach out to me. I'm like, yeah, just try this, try that. And I know that your consultant will be as well. This is a ice cream container from the Mix Shop. I think they're still available. Are they, Sarah? Sarah can search that one up. It's called a Tavolo ice cream container, and it's great because it doesn't ice up. Now, if you're making any of the other ice creams where they're like a custard base, then it works perfectly with that as well. So I did the nice cream the other day. Works the same. Amazing stuff. And I definitely get my hands on one of these if you like making your own ice cream, especially for a minute of your time.
Beautiful.
No worries.
Thanks, Mel. Some amazing tips, and how quick and easy were both those dishes. And the fabulous thing is that that ice cream scoop and all the mixing trays, consultants do get 15% off everything, and often we earn a lot of things for free as well. So you might have a lot of your eye on lots of mix shop items. If that's you, consider jumping on board, because we are on a mission to help so many families across Australia experience Thermomix. So there is space for everyone to try it out as a consultant, and you can try it out with no risk right now. So if you've got a TM5, TM31, and you've got your eye on a TM6, you can join with no risk and have your TM6 on your bench for 60 days or a bit more, and try your hand at selling 3 Thermomixes. Could be pre-sales of the 7, could be a TM6 with the awesome bundle. And when you sell 3, you actually get to keep your TM6 for free. There's no deposit and it costs nothing to join. So it's just a fantastic time to give that a go. And also, if you've already got a TM6, you may wish to do the same thing and earn a second one. Or you might want to try your hand. You don't have to earn another 6. You've already got one. You can try your hand at earning your TM7 or getting it discounted. So very exciting times at the moment, and lots of perks for consultants. One of the main things is that we can earn lots of items like this, but also we learn. So it's like earning and learning, and we make friends and we get skills and we get more confidence. So there's lots and lots of wonderful reasons to join us, and we've already looked at that one. But also, as some of us have mentioned, there's an amazing bundle that comes with the Thermomix right now, and I haven't got that one up for us now. So what we'll do is I will include a picture of that in the email. But if you are interested in getting the TM6 at the moment and maybe not joining as a consultant, talk to your consultant, because the bundle at the moment does include that second bowl, the glider board, a spiralizer, the cutter, and some extra cookie dough. It's about $1,000 worth of freebies. So yeah, reaching out to your consultant and they can give you more detail about that, as well as our 36 months interest free. But let's jump over and see. Sue wants to show us, and then we'll jump and see Deb.
I was just going to show. This was. Come back here.
Wow, lots of them.
That's the mixture from the full recipe. Made all of those things, and it was just so quick and easy. And I think there's only 4 ingredients.
Amazing.
Sugar, egg whites, cream of tartar, vinegar. Done.
Thank you for sharing it. And you'll just pop them in an airtight container, and they'll last a fair while. Is that right, Sue?
Absolutely. Yep. I'm going to pop them into the couple of the what are they called? The vacuum seal containers. That's it.
Good idea.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for sharing that. And like
No
with
worries.
4 egg whites, that's incredible amount, and no nasties, so that's good. And Deb,
Okay, yeah. Okay, so I managed to fit all 4 of the fillets. I had a check through because I realised these are quite smaller compared to my salmon, so I wanted to make sure. So the cooking time of the fish may come off earlier depending on the fish that you're actually using and the size, but they're in the bags there. So what I'm going to do is I'm loading up I've taken the lemon out. I'm loading up the quinoa here. Hopefully you can see that. I'll hold it up in a moment. And then I'm getting my fish and I'm laying it over. And this could be like a grazing plate rather than a single serve. So I'm just going to show you at the moment. I've got plenty more quinoa left. And I could have even doubled the amount while I was cooking to have ahead of time. I'm always into cooking more ahead, saving me time in the kitchen. And then I'm going to be getting some of these currants that have been soaking for some time. To sprinkle them on, and I'll sprinkle some more in a moment. But also what I did today is I had surplus capsicums, so using the cutter I actually made some marinated capsicums. So I actually thought this would look really nice as well. Actually, I should put the yogurt dressing on first. So
beautiful.
I put a little bit of olive oil in that just to give it a little bit of
so that's yogurt and tahini. That's the tahini dressing.
Yeah, the tahini dressing.
Great.
I'll put a little bit more, and then you can season a little bit if you wanted to. But there you go. Like
I love the colours and the different textures you've got. What did you marinate your capsicum in, Deb?
Just olive oil, and it's a recipe on cookie dough. Just the marinated. That's what I love about cookie dough is when I've got bulk stuff, I just put in my ingredient and find different recipes to utilise in different ways. And especially when you take off the filters, don't be afraid to use recipes from other countries because they use the whole ingredient. And sometimes we kind of, when we buy ingredients, we keep using it the same way we know how, not knowing that we could probably try. And I normally buy capsicums already marinated, and I always thought, oh, I'm going to have to roast them. But it was like literally within 12 minutes it took me to make those marinated and capsicum. And I just threw in my own herbs and garlic in the marinating dressing as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what it tastes like. There's lots of fusions of flavour there. I love the look of that. Thank you so much for sharing your creativity with us tonight. And are you going to eat that now?
I've already eaten. Well, I'll probably leave it for Matt and Seth. We might have a night feast. I've got the other fish. I've got tomorrow's lunches as well.
Yeah, you're all sorted. Oh, thank you to Deb, to Mel, Kimberley, Sue, and also to Sarah, our chat box queen. It's been wonderful coming on with you guys, and thank you so much to our guests. We had a lot of interest in tonight's class, so we will be sending out a copy of the recording for you as well. So that'll come out by Friday. Sometime on Friday, and we'll get you those recipes and the recording. So thank you so much for joining. Our next class coming up is we do have a virtual Thermomix experience. So if you've got somebody that you would like to show the Thermomix to and you think they should see it while the bundle deal is on, they can get $1,000 worth of all the favorite accessories. If you know somebody that needs to be introduced to the Thermomix or have another chance at seeing it, please invite them along. So Sarah might be able to pop our welcome series link in the chat, but we'll also email it to you guys so you can book in. That's on the 23rd of April in the evening. We'll have a Thermomix, a very basic intro to Thermomix, and we will be also touching on the TM7 a bit as well, so people can decide which model might be for them. But of course, learning more, contact your consultant because they are waiting to hear from you and they want to help you make the most of your investment. We'll see you another time. If anybody wants to stay around and hear about what it might be like to be a consultant, or even if you just want to earn your Thermomix for free or discounted, you're allowed to do that as well as a payment option. So feel free to stick around. We'll talk about that and any other questions now. Otherwise, we'll see you next time. Happy Easter, everybody.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye. Thanks, Sarah. You're back. Put it. We'll let you have. There we go. There's Sarah. Thanks, Sarah. Any questions that we have in the chat box? Or does anyone want to hear about the business opportunity? We'll go straight into that if not.
Lots of inspo. Alicia's going to be making some hot cross buns. Oh, she's actually doing it now. So that's what I'm doing now. Cross buns.
Oh,
there you go, Kimberley.
yay. So pop your photos.
Amazing. I just had one.
Ooh, can we watch you eat one?
So Alicia, if you're not a member of our Central Connection Community Hub, you're welcome to join that. Let me just grab the link again.
Yeah.
If you want to put your pics into there, that's that would be awesome. I'll just get you the link.
Would love to see everyone sharing or asking questions in there on Facebook if Sarah's popped the link. But if you type in Central Connection Community Hub, join that one, and we'd love to see your photos in there. That's where we put our upcoming events, but we'd love to hear from you in there as well, and any questions you might have. Anything else, Sarah? Otherwise, anyone who does need to leave, you certainly can, as including our presenters if you need to. And I will continue on with the business info session if there is anyone who would like to hear about that.
Anna did ask, but I think she's gone. Anna asked about putting other fruit in instead of the banana and the ice cream, but I've never heard of that made with any other fruit though. Don't know how it would work with the chocolate.
Not with chocolate, but with the ice cream, you definitely could. Use that as your main base. And then it's like the vegan fruity dream. Yeah, so you could do it with anything, but I probably wouldn't do it with chocolate. But yeah, I've done all sorts. Strawberry banana, mango and banana.
Real other questions there.
Yeah, plums, things like that.
The choux pastry was cool. Kate Swaffer said, suggest sliced apricots for the choux pastry. If the halves are too big, plus you can make your own piping bags using baking paper. Oh, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, that is very true. Yeah, they are a little bit more fiddly, but absolutely you can do that. With the apricots, I just couldn't be bothered cutting them, to be honest.
More apricot to eat with your pastry.
Exactly. Like we like a bit of sweetness and the textural thing. Yeah.
I've got a message from Michelle. She said frozen avocado works for the chocolate ice cream. There you go.
It does. Yes, it does. That is something you can do. Definitely for sure. You do need to freeze and chop it up a little bit, but that's definitely one you can use as well. I looked at a recipe that was similar to that. I just didn't have any frozen avocado. I just had frozen bananas.
Yeah.
That's a good one too. Yeah, avocado is delicious and creamy and can make beautiful chocolate mousse or chocolate ice cream. That's true. Awesome. Thank you, Sarah.
Bye, guys.
See you, Kimberley. Thank you.
Thanks, Kimberley.
No worries. Great job. See everyone.
Great job. Thanks for jumping in. It's legend. We'd be sad without those Easter buns. Thank you.
See you guys.
See ya. Now, for anyone who is still on, what I will do is go through the business info session, because as you could see tonight, we've all got different looking kitchens. We all look different. None of us are perfect, and we've all started from somewhere. And you could as well. And you might want to do it as a way to earn your Thermomix, to, you know, sneak your Thermomix in to the house without having to explain anything on the credit card. You could earn your Thermomix for free. Or you might decide that you don't want to go back to your normal job and you want to get some income on the side, or even work towards part-time and full-time income with Thermomix. That's exactly what I did when I started. I didn't want to go back to my job doing, you know, office work, payroll and admin, accounts work. So I decided to become a Thermomix consultant, and that was about 14 years ago. And I worked my way up to being a full-time team leader. And right now I am working full-time with Thermomix, looking after our regional South Australia. So there are lots of career opportunities with Thermomix, and more importantly, there's lots of fun and lots of friends and lots to learn. So if this is something that you would like to do, I mean, you might be able to want to run your business your way. You might want to do traditional demos, or a little bit of online demos, or even just social media. We have lots of different ways you can run your business. We do recommend you do see a demo, and we do have that virtual one coming up on the 23rd, or your consultant can do a real one for you, personalized specifically for you. Now, so we have a great question that comes up, and it's how much can you earn as a consultant? There are different income streams with Thermomix. The main one, obviously, is when we sell a Thermomix. When we sell a Thermomix in one calendar month, if we sell one, we get $255. When we sell 2 Thermomixes in one calendar month, we get $550. A lot of consultants are aiming for the 3 sales, because that's going to make a real dent in their monthly bills, or saving up towards something that they want to save up for, with just under $1,100. So each machine jumps up to a commission of $365. We do have some consultants that are doing, you know, 6, 8, 10 demos a month, and they will be getting 6, 8, 10 sales a month on average. So that is only a smaller number of consultants that are doing it more on a full-time basis. We have a lot of consultants that choose to do 1, 2, 3, 4 sales a month, and that fits in with their lifestyle. So you can think about what might fit in for you as well. A lot of people, they do demos. Some people just turn the camera on when they're doing some bulk cooking and share it with the world. And that's another way you can share Thermomix, just bringing people into your everyday life, so you can work smarter, not harder. Now, so there's monthly commissions. We get mixed shop commissions when we are active in our business, and that is around 15% usually, when our customers put our name down. So thank you for putting our names down. That is a tip for our consultants. We do have a recruitment bonus when we recruit someone, and when they are successful in their startup, then you get a once-off recruitment bonus. And that looks like around $360. So it is direct sales. We are not multi-level marketing. So we are like a typical company with managers and then sales force. But the sales force does get a recruitment bonus, a once-off, when they invite someone else to give it a go. And right now, a lot of people are giving it a go. This one says leadership commissions. So team leaders do get payment for their teams and managing their teams, depending on the team performance as well. So that's another income stream you can look at. We've got a really great new team leader program, and a lot of people are giving that a go at the moment. We're very, very happy with our new programs. In our program, the first one's called the 60-day program, where you give it your best to meet as many people as you can and cook with them. Ask them to invite, 1 or 2 people you don't know. and we get to give everyone the experience of Thermomix. And when we make sales in our 60-day program, we can have commission straight away if we've already got a TM6, or if we're wanting to earn another TM6 or a TM7, then the first sales go towards earning that first machine. So we also not only commission, we also get these goodies. So this will complement your business kit. The business kit's free. It's a very standard basic one, and with the extra sales, when you get a carry bag with the first sale, cutter attached to it with the second for free, a thermosaver, thermomat, another bowl, and your spiralizer. So you can get over $1,000 worth of goodies in your startup period. After your startup period, you do enter the booster program, and that's when you get rewarded for your consistency. And we can be rewarded with items such as these, as well as commission, of course. Now, even I'm pretty sure it was Mel. I'm not sure if she's still on. She's probably gone with her kid. She's got 3 kids in that caravan. But she actually earned all of this booster program last year. And so with 12 sales in your first year, you actually get rewarded for each sale. And that 12th sale, you get another Thermomix. So you've probably heard some consultants saying how they have earned Thermomixes, multiple ones. We do have quite often an opportunity to earn more. Right now, our consultants are earning their TM7. Now, Sarah Rowe, our chat box queen, she has earned her TM7 already, and Kimberley has as well, and a number of our consultants. And we've only just started to earn them the TM7, so that's exciting. Not only can we earn free Thermomixes and other goodies, but we have an annual travel opportunity called ThermoFest. So we're currently tracking towards Fiji. And again, Sarah, hopefully you're still on the call. You're tracking very close to getting to ThermoFest already, and that's in Fiji.
Bit crazy, really, but yeah, I'm taking whatever I can get because I've never had all these incentives before. So
I know. How about that? Have you got
go and appreciate the things that are out there that we can earn and be rewarded for? It's pretty special.
Have you got your passport ready?
My passport expires in February, so I'm assuming I'm going to have to renew it because don't they normally need to have 6 months or something on them before you leave the country? Or
Yeah, but
we
better
might renew it in like June.
We better get on to that. Yeah. That's it. So we've got lots of opportunities, and right now we've got the bundle that we're offering. It's still very popular because it's got all the favorites, and we've got the TM7 pre-sales that we are also able to offer people. The consultants will be seeing the TM7 in South Australia this weekend, and also we'll be doing training in May, so we'll get our TM7s a little bit earlier, but pre-sales have started, but if you want to join us, let your consultant know. We'll figure out the best way for you. It might be, loaning a TM6 from us with no deposit. There's that option, and we can go over that in more detail with you. But basically, you can borrow it, you can give it a go. If you don't make any sales, you can actually return it and say, you know what, no, thank you, it didn't quite work for me and can't afford the TM6 right now. I'm going to hand it back. So you can return it, no risk. Or you can get discount with that third sale. It's actually free. So you want to go for the 3 sales. Oh, 3 sales. Then you have your TM6 for free. So if you know 3 people that want a TM6 or want to pre-order a TM7, you can grab yourself a free TM6. What about the TM7? We can go over your particular scenario with you, but basically right now, as I said, consultants are earning the TM7 now, which is super exciting. I can't wait to hear the silent motor. We won't be able to hear it up to about speed 3. We will hear nothing. so no more of the motor sound there, as well as lots of other features. So our consultants will be seeing that in person this week and in May, or next week maybe. We're going to be in Adelaide and Port Lincoln. So there's lots of people that are joining, and lots of people get different things from Thermomix. But yeah, if you'd like to say yes and give it a go, or if you need to hear more about what I've just ran through, we can go through it with you in more detail. But thank you so much. I'm going to press stop record. Please go back to the person who invited you to this session if you would like to know more about the bundle or owning yourself a Thermomix, and we'll see you next time.